Hey guys, Mike here. So we're going to talk about some big crypto news that came out, and I usually do a Palantir and SoFi stock video update on Sunday for you guys as requested, but with the holidays there just isn't much news out there. But what is moving is some cryptos and some news like that, so I'm going to put that out. I will say it's very important to understand going into this week, this is a big week for the markets. The volume be down by around an average of 30% because it's still into the holidays here and hedge funds are still making moves and stuff, setting up for the new year. But what's important is we can continue the Santa Claus rally that we saw at the end of last week. And the reason why is since the 90s, I believe it's only 6 times we haven't seen a Santa Claus rally. And in 4 of those 6 times that it didn't happen, we led into a bear market in the following year. And so that's why it's extremely important that we at least see some positive movement. Normally, you'll see from this day until usually the second day, January 2nd of the next year, around a 1.5 to 2% increase if the rally continues. And so let's cross our fingers that that happens so we get set up good for 2022. Obviously, we're facing a lot of things we hadn't faced before. We'll see how that goes. But historically, if we do have the Santa Claus rally, that sets up the next year to be a pretty good year. And so let's hope that continues. So if you're getting out of it, hit the like, subscribe button for me, guys. And as usual, let's start off with Bitcoin's chart and some major news or why you're seeing it struggle around that $50,000 range. And as usual, update the fear and greed index for you guys. And we did pop up from 27 to 45, drop back down to 37 on that move up. Looks like we were heading towards the $53,000 level, but as you can see, it's been stuck the last couple days around that $50,000 range, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. And so obviously your next big support level is around 53,500, and down below that you're going to be looking at around 48,300, 46,000. The big drop is all the way around 41,000, so we're hoping not to reach that level. And one thing you can always keep an eye on to see where we're heading is look at the 10-year treasury yield, which we had talked about before, and you can see they pretty much go hand in hand. This is the last 5 days. As yields moved up, so did Bitcoin. As yields traded sideways, the 10-year treasury yield that is, traded sideways, so did Bitcoin. It started to move up, and then of course Bitcoin followed with that. And I found one thing really funny because I don't trade bonds or anything like that. I don't really have anything to do with them. But I just pulled up the weekly, and I always say to do this with cryptocurrencies too to get a good perspective. But I had not realized that the 10-year treasury bond, the yield has actually been declining since 1988 in this channel right here. I mean, it's just been steadily testing the support level, bouncing off the resistance, and just steadily just declining down. I'm not sure what that means for Bitcoin in any way, shape, or form, but I thought it was at least interesting to look at that, and I just did not realize it had been declining that channel for that many years. And of course, going back to Bitcoin, you can see, looking on the daily here, I mean, they're tied pretty much hand in hand. Where the 10-year treasury yield goes, so does Bitcoin. And this leads us into the news I was talking about, this $50,000 level. And it says a new player beefs up 50,000 sell wall. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradeView show volatility hitting BTC overnight on Saturday. The pair had reached 51,500 before starting to retrace. And it goes on to say this move came in tandem with a rise in inflows to major exchange Binance, with order book data showing a new wall of resistance being built at the $50,000 level. And so you can see right here, that nice little colorful bar you can see at the 50,000 level is orders that have been put in right there. A nice bar has been built up. And it goes on to say the behavior points to a large volume investor shaping market bias, and Binance was already the source of suspicion over such activity in recent days. This looks like a new player, data analysis account material scientist noted in comments on Binance's rapidly changing order book setup. And then if you look to the far right, you can see right here, this is Bitcoin balances on exchanges, and you see a big spike right there over the last couple of days. And a couple of things that have also stopped Bitcoin from falling into that support level around 40 to 43,000 is because every week we come out, there's less and less on the exchanges. It says 6.3% of total Bitcoin supply is left on exchange wallets, according to a new analysis by CryptoRank. And this is a better way to look at it. If you look to the left here, you can see where the Bitcoin is on what exchange. You look to the right, there's 18.9 million BTC out there in the circulating supply, and then look to the right of that. That's the amount on exchanges. So you see the difference there, and it seems to be dropping monthly. And of course, Bitcoin's hash rate nears record as 100K BTC turns illiquid every single month. And this is the chart that's been floating around right here. A lot of people are talking about Bitcoin and liquid supply chains, 30-day moving average. And you can see at the top there, when it spikes up, the price goes up. Obviously, when it becomes liquid, the price goes down, which means people are selling and stuff. And so you can see to the right over there where it says 100K BTC illiquid a month. And that's what leads people to believe also in this extended cycle, as well as how BTC could hit 100K sooner than what people actually think. And that's why a lot of people are picking on the first quarter, mid-second quarter, for it to actually start to make a move. And on top of that, you got the miner unspent supply, right? So miners who are mining this BTC are actually holding on to it. You can see to the right over there. They continue to accumulate it, and as they do that, normally the price will also rise. And the reason why they hold on to it is because they're betting the price will rise and they can sell it at a higher price, obviously, and make a whole lot more profit on it. And of course, a lot of other things are going to affect the price of Bitcoin and other cryptos like the market, right? As the market goes up, Bitcoin usually follows. I don't think it's any coincidence that the Santa Claus rally started. Bitcoin started to move up out of the 40s into the 50s. And so that's not a surprise. I think if we continue to move up next week in the market, most likely you're going to see Bitcoin, if it's not manipulated too much by the whales, it might move up some. But the other thing that's happening, really, the ones you're seeing move up are the altcoins, right? And surprisingly, just looking at Ethereum's chart, it hadn't actually been doing really much of anything. I mean, you can see this still in this downward trend on the daily, and then you see this downward trend line here that's bounced off once, twice, now 3 times, and we get to see if it can try to break out above that or not. And if you look down at the bottom down there at the volume, I mean, the volume has just been decreasing as well, which is not good because obviously volume precedes price movement up. So it needs to see some build up in that volume before I think we start to see a good movement up. But looking at the other altcoins, I mean, you know, you got Engines up 33% the last 5 days, Atoms up 31%, Dot's up 22%, Shiba Inu, which I don't really talk about too much, but it's up 18%, Matic up 18%, Mana up 15%, and then ADA's up around 14% just over the last 5 days. So it was a decent Christmas for those. And then if we compare it to Bitcoin, not just USD, you can see it's performing all of these are performing very well against Bitcoin as well. And so that's a good sign right there for them. And of course, like I always like to do, I always like to leave the video by saying here is still what's pointing us in the right direction for 2022 to actually move up and still have a rally in the prices of these cryptocurrencies, and not a bear market per se. And I've gone over a lot of these last week and the week before last. And I'll leave you with 2, and one I'm especially happy to see because we rarely get to see something like this. And the first one, which I talked about before, is the net realized profit and loss. And this comes from On-Chain College. And so if you look at this right here, they have it circled for us right here. When they're in the negative, you can see the price is coming down, right? They got it nice and circled for us. And so the question on this line, you see where we're at on the right here, are we going to start to move up in a positive fashion? And when that happens, you can see the price tends to rise quite a bit. And so, you know, that is a positive to be right there where we're at right there. We'll see which way it breaks. Now, the other one is, and we want to say we don't get to see this very often, is this politician right here named Senator Loomis is going to propose a new Bitcoin bill next year. And I'm actually going to fast forward all the way to the bottom. So I want you to see one thing before I talk about this, is the fact that she owns between 100 to 250,000 worth of Bitcoin as of December 2020, according to her financial disclosures, and has since bought at least 50,000 more BTC. So she's actually really invested in Bitcoin, as you can see, and a believer in it, which is a good thing to have somebody writing a bill that actually, you know, has some, you know, skin in the game and believes in it. And, you know, it comes down to this. It says a senior aide for the senator told Bloomberg that if enacted, the bill would provide regulators with clear guidance on which assets belongs to different asset classes, offer protections for consumers, regulate stablecoins, and create a new organization under the joint jurisdiction of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission and the Securities and Exchange Commission to oversee the digital asset market. And that is exactly what crypto needs, is politicians like herself who have skin in the game. Obviously, if she's putting between $200,000 and $300,000 in it right now, you know, that's a fair amount of money. And so I assume she believes in it, and somebody, either she understands it or somebody who's advising her understands the crypto space. And so that's the kind of politicians we need writing laws like this or bills to get passed into laws. And so not these people who have no clue what the difference between an Android and an iPhone is, or what Bitcoin is, or any of that stuff. We don't need them trying to write bills. And so hopefully, you know, she'll get support on this bill. I'll obviously keep you updated on that. We'll see. And so, you know, that's just, to me, the regulation is the key, right? To start moving this thing forward, to keep moving it forward, and understand we have to temper our expectations moving forward. And even some of the biggest crypto channels out there have told you this. So, you know, with each cycle, the gains are less, right? And so as it gets regulated, the gains will be less, but they'll still be much more significant than a lot of other investments or any other investment I can actually think of. And so, you know, that's something to keep an eye on. And so, you know, as usual, I'll keep you up to date on what's going on each week. And I might do 2 videos. We'll see if there's any news out. I will do that. But, you know, I think a lot of people still believe and are starting to move into the camp of this is an extended cycle. We're not going into a bear market. Obviously, if the stock market heads south, the crypto market will follow along with it. But right now, just focusing on the crypto market itself, it seems that it's in good shape. A lot of consolidation. It's going to be very volatile. The whales are going to absolutely manipulate the heck out of it as they want to. I still think there's a whole lot of orders sitting between the 40 and 42 level, you know, and so we'll see if they manipulate it down or allow it to rise above 50,000 in the coming week as we start to move into, you know, the Santa Claus rally, and see if that continues. And so if you got any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I really appreciate that. Hit that like and subscribe button for me, guys. I also appreciate that. And if you like these kind of updates and stuff. So hope you guys have a good night. Hope you had a great holiday. I know I did. Me and my family did. Be safe, and I will see you tomorrow. Hit that link down there in the bottom. Sign up for a BlockFi account to earn 9% on your Stablecoins, 9.5% on your Tether, and 4 to 5% on your other cryptocurrency, as well as earn the 1.5% back on Bitcoin for every purchase you make on that credit card, guys. I will see you later.